As you can tell, I got a haircut. It's definitely mullety. I can't tell if I like it very much because, you know, it's new. My opinion doesn't matter. You know whose opinion does matter? The ladies.
Ew, your haircut looks like shit.
Needless to say, the chicks dig it. Found footage movies, you either love them or you hate them. Me, I love them. There's nothing better than a good found footage movie, honestly. Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch Project, kind of overrated, not gonna lie, but that's my own opinion. But I haven't seen too many. You know, I'm not really like a movie reviewer by any means. I haven't really seen that many movies, so I went on Netflix and I tried to find a good found footage movie. That led me to a movie called Creep. Just a little insight on Creep. So this is the, I guess like bio, I don't know. So the bio is when a cash-strapped videographer takes a job in a remote mountain town, he finds that the client has some unsettling ideas in mind. Ooh. The cast is Mark Duplass, I think I'm saying that right, not too sure, and Patrick Bryce. Independent movie, hour and 17 minutes. It's on Netflix, which is like, you know, pretty dope for an independent movie. A little bit more information on this that I found on the most trustworthy site in America called Wikipedia. Don't know if you heard about it. Only real journalists kind of know about it, so if you don't know about it, it's okay. You don't gotta feel bad. I got the scoop like that. It says that Duplass? I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, be offensive by any means and say this guy's name wrong, but anyways, Duplass, pretty much these two guys had a camera and they made a movie. I mean, budget was like little and none, I'm pretty sure. Pretty solid stuff. And I don't know, I just like horror movies because like there's nothing better than, you know, having a group of the fellas and you throw on a horror movie and just kind of, you know, kick back and relax. Might get scared, hold your friend's hand, who knows, there's no telling. Yeah, so let's grab this movie by the balls and get into it. So Creep 1 starts off with our main character, the videographer. His name is Aaron. He's our protagonist. He gets this ad on Craigslist, $1,000, and you got to record for like a day or something like that. Maybe it was like 2 days, I don't really remember.
The ad said $1,000 for the day, filming services. Discretion is appreciated.
And it starts off, he's recording himself. He's talking about the experience that's gonna happen while he's driving to the Craigslist ad guy's house. There's some B-roll shots of places that they're at later on in the movie. He's kind of just like yapping about some shit, who knows, just talking, filming the town. Then there's a picture, and you know, they show some things like an axe, and he's like kind of like, oh, this is a little bit creepy. But you know, he wants the cash. I mean, who doesn't? $1,000? 1,000? He walks up to the door, no one's there, and he's like, well, what the fuck? He told me to meet at this time, and now he's not here. What's going on? So he goes back to his car, and he kind of sits there a little bit, and then boom, there's a Craigslist guy. His name is Joseph, and he's right at the window. What a creepy bastard. And he's like, oh man, I didn't mean to scare you. That was a bad joke. Anyway, my name's Joseph.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is gonna be a good day. You have a really nice, kind face.
He takes Aaron to the front door and he starts talking about why he's doing it, what it's for, what he's recording. So pretty much Joseph said that he has a wife named Angela and she's having a baby. They're both having a baby. He has a tumor in his brain and he might not live long enough to see his child Buddy. So he wants to record like a documentary style video of what he does and things that he wish he could have said to Buddy that he obviously can't because he died. Because he only has like, I think they say like 2 months to live and it's like 6 months till the child's born. So he won't see his kid and he wants to make a video for him. So right away, which is like hella red flag thing to do, but he takes him upstairs into his cabin. I also forgot to say that. All this takes place in Joseph's cabin. And he tells Aaron that he wants to, fuck. All right, so since it's so goddamn hot in here, my camera overheated. But anyways, I'm just gonna keep on going on my phone. So the quality's a little bit bad. You can see my face through the mirror, or through the picture. Quality is gonna be a little bit worse, but I'm sorry, the room's hot as shit. But anyway, he said he wants to film Tubby Time, which is pretty much him bathing his child.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. Okay? Yeah. We're gonna go a lot deeper places than this.
Bubble bath time, they called it Tubby Time, which at this point, you know, obviously our main character Aaron is a little bit like, what the fuck? And then he puts a towel over his head and he starts talking about how sad he is. He kind of breaks his shell a little bit to our boy Aaron. He slowly goes underneath the water and he starts to like drown himself. And then Aaron, obviously sitting there with the camera, is like, well, what the fuck? And then he walks up to him and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And then he jumps out of the water and scares him.
Oh man, I'm so
And then Aaron's like, really? One thing about Joseph is he's really good at fixing a situation. Like if he makes someone like uncomfortable, he's really good at like showing us that he's like, fuck, why did I do that? So he kind of portrays the character perfectly. So yeah, anyway, they make up and he's like, you know what, I got something to show you. They're like, all right, let me go get some fresh air. And then they are about to go for a walk and he shows him a mask. This mask is called Peach Fuzz and it's a big old werewolf. A little bit eye-opening, but nothing crazy. So he has this mask. His name is Peach Fuzz. It kind of catches Aaron's attention. He's a little bit like random guy on Craigslist with a wolf mask in his closet. Red flag, bud.
I might look like I eat you up.
So then our two boys, Aaron and Joseph, go on a little road trip and they're gonna go on a walk. Aaron's like, you know, he's starting to get hungry, starting to get tired. The sun's kind of going down a little bit. And he's like, Joseph, we're in the middle of the woods. What's going on here? I don't even remember where we came from. And Joseph's kind of just like, he keeps on intriguing Aaron to keep on going. He's like, oh, we're almost there. And because he really wants to show Aaron this spot. Joseph goes, he starts giving this like little, speech. He's like, we can't see a miracle if we got a rope hanging around us and we can't go anywhere, kind of one of those deals. He starts going, holy shit, and he starts running. He's running and then he's like, there it is. And Aaron's like, let's take a look. And then it's a rock with a heart in it. I mean, God bless. That's just beautiful.
You were right. It's a heart, but it's also a miracle.
And then they both take their shoes off, they go in the river, and they start having a fun time. They're kind of bonding a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of having some bromance action going on. So they're kind of having a fun time, playing in the water. Joseph carves a heart inside a rock, and it says J plus A. I mean, what a guy. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of this movie. After they get done with oh yeah, I'm back on the camera, by the way. It's not as hot anymore. After they get done looking at the rock with the heart in it, Joseph says, are you still hungry? Aaron's like, hell yeah, I'm still hungry. It's like 5 p.m. and I haven't ate nothing. And then they go and get some breakfast. They get some pancakes and they're eating a little brunch action. And then Joseph, out of left field, says, hey, why don't we share one of our darkest secrets with each other? And then Aaron's like, well, all right. Then Aaron, he gets really vulnerable with his pal Joseph here. And he says, I used to pee my pants a lot.
There I was, laying in the sand, just with piss all over myself.
And then he went into some childhood trauma that we all love.
And that was probably the first time, or at least the first time I remember feeling shame.
He talks about a story where he was at the park and then he peed his pants and everyone made fun of him. And Aaron says that, which is a little bit like slight, but Joseph starts kind of choking up on what he wants to say, or not what he wants to say, but what he's about to say. And he's like, here, it's better if I just show you. So he's pulling up something on his phone. You don't know, the movie's titled Creep, so you're like, is he about to show a chopped head? He's about to show some fucked up shit, but he actually shows us a picture of Aaron at the beginning of the movie whenever he pulled up to the house. So then Aaron obviously is like, okay, that's a little bit creepy. Whenever he wasn't at the door, he was taking pictures of our boy Aaron. Kind of playing back into how I said that Joseph's really good at kind of pulling things back in and making it not like kind of making you on the fence on like, is this guy actually really creepy or am I just like being a bad person? He says that if he got to know Aaron before Aaron got to meet him, then he would be less nervous, which is like, it's weird for sure, but you kind of have a place in your heart where you kind of like side with him. Then it hard cuts to Joseph walking up the stairs with Aaron. Obviously he's filming, but they go back to the cabin and you get a good shot of Joseph's cheeks. Aaron decides, you know what, I don't need to stay the night with this guy. He's a little bit creepy. He took pictures of me. I'm not really messing with that. Then Joseph turns around while he's at the stairs, backlit by this one lamp above him, and he's just staring at him. Obviously Joseph doesn't like that, and he's like, come on man, come in for one whiskey. Come on for a little drink of whiskey and then you can leave. I don't care. We gotta celebrate what we did today. Aaron decides, all right, I'm gonna have one drink and I'm heading out. This shot of Joseph is nuts, of him just looking at him up the stairs. Obviously, Joseph wants Aaron to stay the night. Joseph is just like, hey man, just stay the night. Aaron doesn't want to stay the night, obviously, because he took pictures of him and he's being weird all day. Keeping secrets and lying, and so he doesn't want to stay, and then Joseph's like, hey, let's drink some whiskey. Aaron's like, you know what, I could use a shot of whiskey. and he goes inside. Once they get inside, have a glass of whiskey, throwing one back for the fellas. Joseph pretty much just flexes on Aaron. He's like, hey, I got a lot of money, and I'm trying to give you money. Money. Aaron's like, nah, I don't want to take all your money. And he's like, if I was hungry and you had a lot of food, why don't you give it to me? And then Aaron's like, yeah, I guess I kind of would. Joseph is like, well, I got a surplus of money. So he says he wants to give him a lot of money, so he wants him to stay longer and record for him. And then Aaron at this point is like, he's like, I don't want your money. I'm just trying to go home. This is weird. You're creeping me out. Joseph randomly throws out as a last shot before he leaves. He says, I lied to you. And then Aaron turns around and he was like, about what? He said, before you leave, I need to get something off my chest. He says, Buddy cannot see us, his kid, remember? And he says, I need you to put the camera down. Aaron puts the camera down. Joseph then begins to say the internet was slowing down in his house, and he tried to figure out what was going on. He went through his computer's history, and there was a lot of animal on there. He says, I wasn't watching it, so Angela was watching it, his wife. He took that werewolf mask, peach fuzz, put it on his face. He crawled through the window. He had, as he said, animalistic sex. Angela didn't know it was him. He went out the window and left. All right, we're back on the phone. He came back the next morning as himself, asked her how her night was. She says great, and then they went on about their lives, and the internet speed got back up. So she's no longer watching animal. Then it cuts back to him talking about one more thing to Buddy before Aaron leaves, and he's in the middle of giving his like little, final goodbye, and Aaron cuts him off. He's like, all right, that's good. And Joseph is kind of like, hey, that's he's like, I didn't think that was very good. He tries to get Aaron to stay again. Aaron's like, dude, I just want to get the fudge out of here. But Joseph wants him to stay as a last shot. Then he says,
Did I freak you out with my story?
Aaron obviously is like, yeah, kind of, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. But he doesn't say that. Aaron can't find his keys, and he's trying to obviously get out of there. Joe's like, hey, it's dark outside, and we can't find keys in here. Just stay the night. We have a guest bedroom. Stay in there. Sunlight will be everywhere, and you can find your keys. And then it cuts to Aaron pouring a shot, and he's like, sorry, I was a little bit antsy back there. So obviously he decides to stay the night. They're about to do another take, and Joseph is kind of like, did that shot taste a little chalky to you? Aaron's like, no, not really. It cuts to him passed out on the chimney because Aaron drugged him so he can find the keys. Aaron finds the keys in Joseph's pocket. Obviously it's on Joseph because it's nowhere else in the house, so he knows it's in there. And while Joseph is asleep, he goes up to the chimney, puts his hand in his pocket. Wasn't that pocket. Then he goes for the other pocket, and then his phone starts ringing. Joseph's phone starts ringing. And then he freaks out, grabs the camera, runs to the bathroom with Joseph's phone, and he picks it up, and he's like, hey, who are you? And it was Angela, Joseph's wife. Basically, by the end of it, Aaron finds out that Angela is
Joseph's your brother. But your brother has cancer.
not his wife and is his sister, and that Joseph is a little bit crazy, a little bit cuckoo in the head. He's just like, okay, this is all just a big facade, and I need to get out of here for real.
Get out of that house right now.
He goes back out to go talk to Joseph. Joseph is not on the chimney anymore. He then pans to the left, sees that the door is cracked open, and he's like, okay, well, he's out there. So he walks up to the door, opens it, and then we get a jump scare.
Death. It's coming.
And it's Joseph, and Joseph says, death, it is coming. And that kind of freaks Aaron out, and everyone's there is just like, oh shit, this is, now he's for sure a killer, and this is like gonna be the climax and us trying to escape. But no, that is not it. Joseph is talking about himself, and he starts breaking down. He's hugging Aaron. He's like, I don't want to die. And he's like, I'm never gonna be able to meet my kid. And Aaron's like, all right, cut the bullshit. I just talked to Angela. You are not married to Angela, so all this is probably a lie. So I just want to find my keys. I'm not mad at you. I know you're going through problems. Joseph freaks out about that, runs downstairs. Aaron's just kind of sitting there. He's just holding the camera, just sitting there. Not trying to run, not going to jump off the balcony or something. He's just kind of just recording. He finally goes downstairs with no weapon. He doesn't take anything. He just kind of goes downstairs. We see Peach Fuzz. We see the mask. We see Joseph, and he's blocking the door like this.
Joseph.
Aaron basically is just like, please let me go. I'm scared as shit and I just want to go home. Are you just trying to scare me? And Joseph is like,
Stop it! Stop it!
pretty creepy stuff. Charges at him, they squabble, and then the camera cuts. The classic camera cut. Golly, look at my cheeks, it's so hot in here. It cuts to a video of Joseph carrying a bag full of something and he starts burying it because obviously you start to think that he killed Aaron and now he's burying Aaron inside the bags. Then it cuts away because that is not what happened. And Aaron is like, I just got this in the mail. This is weird. Throws it away, doesn't call the cops, goes to bed, wakes up, and he's like, I've been having these weird dreams. I can't stop thinking about me and Joseph inside of a hot tub, and he has peach fuzz on. I have like a baby peach fuzz mask on, and then he just goes back to bed. Next morning comes, he gets another package in the mail. This time it's another video. Inside there is a baby fox mask and there is a knife, and he pretty much, Joseph is just saying like, oh, there's nothing about gutting your first thing, and pretty creepy message. And so Aaron starts stabbing the baby wolf, opens it up, and there is a necklace with a heart as a pendant, and you can open it up and there's a picture of both of them. A very cute gift. At this point, Aaron didn't like that very much, and he calls the police and he's installing another deadbolt on his door, and he starts freaking out. The police don't do nothing. They're kind of just like, they don't do nothing. Aaron's just like, well, thanks for the help, assholes. Then he goes back to bed. He thought he heard something and he's having another dream, and then he definitely hears something, gets up. He gets up. He's completely That's fucking hilarious. He gets up from his sleep, he grabs a knife, and he's completely in his underwear, and what even is that? He's lanky as shit, and he gets up out of it, and he's holding the knife, and he's just like, I'm gonna get you. He walks off, he's running around the house, turns all the lights on, and whenever he walks out, you can see Joseph standing there in the door like this.
Hello?
I like that. I thought that was really cool. I really like non-jump scary kind of jump scares, you know? He goes outside, can't find nothing, and then he goes back to bed. Camera gets picked up again. It's Aaron sleeping. Joseph was inside, and he grabbed the camera and started recording him while he's sleeping. Creepy. He just kind of like stands there a little bit, looks at him, you know, probably gets a couple sniffs, and then he grabs his scissors, cuts Aaron's hair. Then he gets another thing, and he's like, all right, man. He's like, you can throw away the grave digging thing. You know, that was a little creepy. I understand. That was completely out of context. So you can throw that away, because that's what Aaron did. He threw it away. And he's like, but whenever I find this in your trash can, and it's his little like charm necklace thing, he's like, whenever you throw this in the trash can, that hurts my feelings a lot. I do this with people, and he's like, I lie, I can't stop lying, I'm kind of creepy. If you want, you can meet me at this location we saw from the beginning. We'll talk all about it. And then for some reason, Aaron's like, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. All right, I'm gonna film this. My phone is on speed dial, so if anything goes south, call the cops, they'll come here and arrest him, blah, 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 blah. Then he sits down on a bench with his back facing towards him. Kind of weird. Then obviously Joseph kind of, you know, walks on up, flips his trench coat out, grabs his axe, pickaxed Aaron to death, and then that's pretty much it. Camera gets picked up, and then it's Joseph getting a full nostril shot, and he's looking at the video, and he's being all creepy like, and he's like, you know, because he's a murderer, and he loves what he does, and he killed him, so he loves it. Last little jump scare, he goes in a frame, and he's like, wah! Then he flips the camera, and then real-time Joseph also goes, wah! Kind of goofy end, but, you know, whatever. Then he's on the phone with somebody, and he's like, all I need is a camera and 8 hours of your time. And he opens up a cabinet to all these VHS tapes of all these people, random videos, and then he sets one down that says Aaron. And then the movie ends. Also, awesome end screen. It looks so sick. I love the type. I love everything. Just the black and yellow. Sick. The music also is kind of a cool choice. I really like it. I feel like it's so simple, and like a lot of Alright, sorry, I keep on having to switch back and forth from my phone and then my camera. But anyway, I really like this movie because it's so simple and effective. You can turn this movie on and just have a kind of a good time. It's nothing too crazy. It's just kind of a cool little movie, you know. I like creep. Obviously, what we compare it to is the Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity 1 because, you know, Paranormal Activity, found footage movies, obviously Blair Witch kind of put it on the map. But Paranormal Activity really kind of like slammed it there, and then that's obviously what everyone's going to compare it to. And I think it keeps up with both of them. First off, Blair Witch Project is so overrated. I'm sorry, it is not that scary. It's just kind of, you know, maybe I'll rewatch it again and tell you guys what I think about it, but I think it's just kind of, you know, it's whatever. But Paranormal Activity, it's hard to beat, and I think this one's pretty close to it. I think it's up there. There's not really like a best part in this movie. You really just gotta watch it and just, you know, enjoy it. It's just a good movie. I like this movie. If I were to rate it, I'd give it like probably like a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's a fair rating for Creep 1. So is this the best found footage movie yet? No. The reason why is because Paranormal Activity exists. Paranormal Activity is just so good. Paranormal Activity is so good. Actually, I don't know. I think Creep is better than Paranormal Activity. So, take back what I said, and yes, I do think it's better. Reason being, strictly based off movie, the pacing, the acting, the dialogue, everything, I think that this movie is so solid on. And I think Paranormal Activity, I feel like the problem with Paranormal Activity is like the dialogue sucks, the character decision making sucks. There's a lot of things in the movie that it's like, why did they do that? So yes, I do think that this is better than Paranormal Activity, and I do think that this is the best found footage movie. But like I said, I haven't seen a lot of movies, so I don't really know. There's probably so many more that are better that I just have not seen. I've seen Blair Witch, Cloverfield, and all the Paranormal Activity movies. That's all that I've seen. For found footage. I've seen VHS. Some of VHS. Is that it? I mean, I've seen some duds, like, that I don't even remember the name of and stuff. Actually, would As Above, So Below be considered found footage? No, because they didn't find it, but, like, it's still kind of the same, like, you know, kind of found footage-y. So that's also up there. But I do think that this is the best, like, strategically. Like, critically speaking, I do think that this is the best. But nostalgia purposes, I like more paranormal stuff. I think that's just more fun. But comment down below other movies I should see, or, you know, all that, because I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I could probably, I don't know. And if I have watched a movie, then I probably don't remember very much, because I don't really watch movies like that. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't even have to be horror movies. Just any movies. Comment. I can talk about it, you know. Yeah, and let me know if you agree with my decision that this is the best found footage movie. I would like to definitely talk about it. Hopefully I'll be able to get this footage onto my computer, because it's an hour long and it's on my iPhone. I don't even know if I'll post this too, because this is my first ever sit down commentary video. Even though I'm standing up. Sit down. My camera died. I really should have just filmed it again. Oh well, good practice.